as we see, you know what I'm saying? Is any kind of extremists that putting on swings, boulders, and so forth and so on, violence and all kinds of things. No, this propaganda is real good. As a court reporter, Amy Walters wrote on the 26th of August, the more Trump is in the news, the more dangerous the political climate for the GOP. That's a bullshit lie. The climate is only there because the demon democratical group set it up that way. The demon Democrats set it up to fall that way, especially with Roe versus Wade, and women not taking a very good look at what it is Trump was trying to do. He was trying to stop the abuse of it. You see what I'm saying? That's what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? But let's start with the Supreme Court Dobbs decision. Dobbs decision sent a shockwave. Oh, of course it will, because women want to just throw away babies at random. You know what I'm saying? With no consequences of action as to what they are doing morally. You know what I'm saying? Without good decision, good medical understanding, and good this and so forth. So who's feeding the beast? You know what I'm saying? So down the shockwave, according to this, I don't see no shockwave across the political spectrum, and has jolted the demon democratic turnout. Oh, of course, because people don't understand what is going on underneath the sheets. They only see what they want to do, and that's it. But they don't see the ending products in many different ways. You know what I'm saying? On 25th of August, you know what I'm saying, the Ox News or whatever, that immediately. After Dobbs, the Demon Democratic primary turned out for the government race increased in five of the eight states holding contests in the primaries. Uh, s- Similarly, a report from the Transmart suggests that in states like Michigan and Wisconsin, how did I know? Where reproductive rights are at stake, women are out registering men by significant margin. Of course, because they are not looking at the real moral concept of it. The only thing they see is they have a right to, whenever I make a mistake or whenever I choose to just throw away my baby, I can just throw him away and with no moral in it at all. And we must look at the moral value because we do not know what these people are really doing underhandedly in these clinics and so forth and so on. We must start looking at these things. You know what I mean? So the pattern, you know, namely pertains to a pink wave in November as women mobilize to defeat pro-life candidates. Go ahead, keep on doing it, and that decision you will pay for. You know what I'm saying? We saw evidence in this the 23rd of August, especially congressional elections in New York, where Demon Democrat Pat Ryan defeated Republican Mark support at 52 to 48. Yes, Mark Ryan campaign message was largely, guess what? Focus on protecting abortion rights. Okay, wait, hold up. That was a good trick there, Ryan. You're good. You punk ass. You a clown. And y'all demons will do anything to stay in that office, boy. Woo! Y'all good. Okay, so we see, you know what I'm saying? So we see how the votes are being swing back and forth and so on. So in the commentary, I must put my 2 cents in by saying simply this: you keep on following a demon and you will get stung or bite. You keep on following a hornet or playing with a hornet's nest and you will get stung. The abortion rights was not what Trump was doing. Trump was protecting the fact of the over abuse of it that was going on for a decade, that people were not paying attention to nothing else but the fact that I can do this and get rid of my baby and so forth and so forth on. Nobody is denying you that right based on that, and I'm sure the Republicans would have not done that at all. But at the same time, they still have to look at the health conditions of the woman. That was not out on the table. The restrictions came because Trump had to do something within the 4 years that he had to stop it. And if you notice, they used that same technique against him in a reverse way by saying, okay, well, you don't like that? Well, we do. Boom. So vote for us. That's the easiest trick in the book. Wait a minute. Yes. Okay. You okay? Wait a minute. And then, okay. His victory follows a striking protecting abortion. Wait, I'm losing my spot on August 2nd. You know what I'm saying? A referendum vote in Kansas where voters overwhelmingly rejected the attempt to ban the abortion. All Republicans being thrust taught a lesson they should have learned from history. No, no, because Trump only had so many years. It was not the fact of every single Republican, I'm sure, that was on the ticket of the complete denial in one shot. It was based on the 4 years that Trump then had, or the 4 years or years before coming up, seeing these problems growing and growing, and the stuff that was going on inside our government. So within the 4 years that Trump had, it may seem extreme, but it could have been worked out. But he never got another 4 years to complete that mission as to their subject. So so the demon Democrats knew that and used that trait in order to now sway the votes at a critical time where they were losing. Mhm. So we see the trickery in the game. Mm. When the Supreme Court gets too far out in front of or far behind the American public by ignoring American sentiment, political backlash results that happened in the 1850s in the run up to the Civil War. Yes, and in 1930s when they did the Great Depression trickery, the demon Democrats again caused the Great Depression. All over the Luciferian, all of them, David Malcolm, all of them was involved. When the conservative court that Franklin Roosevelt inherited struck down a new minimum wage law. Okay. It happened after Roe versus Wade, when the abortion third reacted and organized for a 50-year battle that resulted in the the reactionary, I'm sorry, in a reactionary court majority. The Republicans may now be reaping what those reactionaries on the court sowed. Ah, as Z. So it still come out to just what I said. You see what I'm saying? Trump was trying to stop something that was underground, that was being hidden for many years, of the abuse of it, and also the selling of baby parts in itself. There was a lot going on. Same thing with Mr. Rubber Coffins when Sergeant Slaughter came down on his head and came to his office and knocked on the door, and he wouldn't even let them in to sit down and have a discussion. He stood at the door and looked like he was shocked that people was up on the game of their Luciferian plan for all back then to now. You see, and when Sergeant Slaughter went over to look for the rubber coffins, immediately they were shipping them out. Ah, you need to look that up. Ah, and find out who Mr. Rubber Coffin really is. Mm, as I see. And it isn't only that many Americans have been alarmed and aroused by what the court did last June. They are also awakening to the threat posed, no, the threat posed by the demon democratical lies and election denial. It has no, and the truth of the matter that was not denied, but put forward the effort to make sure that that was not true and that He won whole-handedly. You see, but the demon Democrats pulled a whole series of hosts of trickery of jumping over the loop in a circus of clowns to bring forth all what you see that happening now to where we have Roe versus Wade. It's a simple mathematics you see in science. Of political trickery. And turning within the government itself, and that's what people are missing. They're only jumping like jackrabbits to something that they're not taking a clear look at in its entirety as to what was really going on. Same we saw in what we saw with coronavirus. Same group. You know what I'm saying? And this is what people continue to do, and the women are stupid enough to do this, is really foolish, as we see. But it is your choice and your place to make your own decision as to what you say and do with your vote based on what you feel is important to you. It still comes out to what? Your choice. So this is point blank saying on a little commentary that we must start making better decisions before we jump the gun and always accuse someone of something without knowing true facts as to true studies as to what really went on in our government for 47 long years to where we are today. So nothing they did in the 2020 election and even before when it came to COVID and many other things such as monkeypox is not fooling no one. We know full well what it is all about, and we don't have to keep discussing it with these fools. We know and we speak around the ways that we go. So we must look at the facts as they lay before you make a mistake that you know that you will pay. So this is Boy Black saying, be wise, be smart, think well, do more investigation and research. You know what I'm saying? Going back to the middle and forward. Farewell, my friends. This is Point Black. Be wise. One.